You have a good life, maybe even a great one, great job, great relationships, stability, things most people would be grateful for. And yet, there is this quiet, persistent feeling of emptiness, like something important is missing. Like you are going through the motions of a life that looks right from the outside but feels hollow from the inside. If you have ever felt that way and have been confused by it, and maybe even ashamed of it, you don't want to talk to people about it. You see, this video is going to explain to you exactly what is happening and, more importantly, what to do about it. Now, let's look at this trap called the hollow achievement. You see, there is a phenomenon I have seen, or I see repeatedly, and I want to name it clearly. It is the hollow achievement trap. Empty. It works this way. You see, from the young age, we are given the map. Get the education, build the career, achieve goals, reach the milestones, and the promise, often unspoken, but it's always present. And the promise is that, is that when you get there, you will feel it. When you get there, you will have fulfillment. When you get there, you will have the sense of arrival. You see, the feeling that your life has meaning and weight. And then, look at what, when you get there, instead of feeling fulfilled, you just keep wanting more. More goals, more milestones, more rungs of the ladder. You keep climbing, you keep, you are never satisfied. Or worse, a quiet, disorienting emptiness because the achievement arrived, and forgot to come with it, the feeling, and did not come with the feeling. It just arrived. And that feeling of fulfillment did not arrive with it. Okay. This is not ingratitude, not at all. This is not a weakness. This is what happens when you build a life of result without building a foundation of identity. You see, success without meaning always feels hollow. Always. No matter how impressive it looks from the outside, it will always feel hollow. And the reason it feels hollow is not because something is wrong with you. No, not at all. It is because you started, at the wrong end of the Flourish framework. You started at the harvest and skipped the foundation. In the Flourish, the H is the harvest and the F, the beginning, is the foundation. So you started at the last rung of the ladder and skipped the first foundation, which is the identity. Okay, let's look at why emptiness is not your enemy. Sometimes we feel that emptiness is our enemy. No, it's not our enemy. You see, I want to reframe something for you. Is it that feeling of emptiness, the one you have been trying to outrun, the one you have been trying to suppress, the one you have been trying to explain away, is not your enemy. It is one of the most important signals you will ever receive. Emptiness is what happens when there is a gap between the life that you are living and the life you were made for. It is your inner self, your identity, your values, your sense of calling, pushing back against the life that has been built on the wrong foundation. Most people, they respond to this signal of emptiness in one of the two ways. Look at how they respond. They either distract themselves from it, and they distract themselves with more achievements, more consumption, more business, more noise, or they respond the other way. They try to suppress it. or they suppress it. They tell themselves, oh, they should be grateful. You should be grateful you have achieved all this. You see, you should be grateful because other people are even worse. They haven't achieved what you achieved. So they try to suppress it, and then they try also to tell themselves, look, if you keep wanting more, that means you're selfish. So they try to suppress it. But there is a third response, and it is the only one that actually resolves that emptiness. This very third response, it helps you to resolve this emptiness rather than managing it. What do? Pay attention to it. You treat it as the signal it is. You ask, what is this thing telling me? What is this signal telling me? And you let the answer lead you back to the foundational work of identity. Because emptiness, when listened to carefully, almost always points to the same thing. A life that has been built outward without first being built inward cannot be sustained. Okay, my friend, if this is the kind of content that you'll be looking for, honest, deep, no shortcuts content, please hit the like button. Help the Flourish blueprint to grow and reach the wider audience. I post every single week, and every video builds on the one before it. You do not want to miss what is coming. Okay, let's crack on. Now, I want us to look at the 3 roots of emptiness. Let me give you the 3 most common roots of this hollow feeling, this emptiness. Because understanding which one that is in operation in your life changes what you do about it. If you don't understand which one is operating, it will be difficult to make changes. Root number 1. You have been achieving for validation rather than for meaning. You see, the career, the accomplishment, the visible success, they have been driven, at least in part, by the need for approval, to be seen as successful, to be respected, to prove something to yourself, to others, to the version of you that have been told that you need to be more. You see, achievement driven by the need for validation always, I say it again, always feel hollow when they arrive, because they do not arrive with fulfillment. They arrive empty, because the approval is never quite enough at all, and the emptiness that follow it, the signal, that it tells you that approval, was never the point. Okay. Root number 2, you have disconnected your daily life from the deepest values. This is a gap between what you say you believe about what matters, about what a meaningful life looks like, and how you are living. So there is that disconnect. So you know your values, but you are not living by them. And that gap accumulated over time produces a persistent sense of meaningless. Root number 3, you have been building the building before laying the foundation. Okay, you have put up these magnificent structures, but your foundation, you haven't even, built your foundation or taken time to build your foundation. You have invested enormous energy into results, your career, your achievements, your relationships, your experiences, without investing equivalent energy into the foundation those results will rest on. Isn't that crazy? You see, the identity, the character, the genuine sense of who you are and why you are here, they are important, and they are the foundation. I tell you this, a building without a foundation will always feel unstable, no matter how impressive it looks, from the street or from the outside. So, which of these resonates most? Hold the answer, because it tells you where the work begins. Now, let's look at how to feel the emptiness the right way. It's not just feeling it, but to feel it the right way. Here is what most people try when they feel empty, and why it does not work and it cannot work. They try to fill that emptiness with more achievements, more experiences, more relationships, more stimulations, more content. And none of it works, unfortunately, because achievements cannot fix the feeling that something important is missing inside you. Okay, here is what actually works. Number one, return to the question of identity. Who are you really at the core? Beneath all the achievement, beneath the achievements and the roles, the title, director, whatever you are, and the things you have built, beneath that, what do you genuinely believe? What do you truly value? Who are you becoming? Look, if you cannot answer these questions clearly, the emptiness will persist, regardless of your accumulation above them. The second one is reconnect your daily life with your genuine values. Stop making choices. Start making choices. Even small ones, small choices that reflect what you actually believe and what really matters in your life. Not what looks good, not what is expected, what you actually believe. Because meaning is not found in grand gestures. It is found in daily alignment between what you value and how you live. Okay, let's look at the third one. You have to shift from achieving for approval to contributing to for significance. Ask yourself, what am I doing that actually matters beyond my own advancement? Where am I serving something bigger or larger than myself? Because significance, the sense that your life is genuinely counting for something, is one of the most powerful antidotes to emptiness that exists. And it's almost, involves looking outward than inside. Who am I serving? What am I serving apart from my personal stuff? Okay, let's look at the significance over success. This is important. I say, in the Flourish framework, harvest, which is the H, the last word in the Flourish, represents results and the legacy of a life well built. And I want to make a distinction that I think that is one of the most important of this entire series. And I want you to listen very carefully. Success is about what you have achieved. Significance is about what you have contributed. You see, success asks, what have I accumulated? What have I accomplished? What does my resume look like? Significance, on the other hand, asks, who have I served? What difference have I made? What will remain when I'm gone? Most people spend their lives pursuing success and wonder why it feels empty when it arrives. The people who flourish truly flourish in the deepest sense are the people who shift at some point in their lives from pursuit of success to the pursuit of significance. And that is why I teach the Flourish framework. You see, from building for themselves to building for something beyond themselves. You see, that very shift does not require you to abandon your career, not at all. I am not asking you to abandon your career. That shift doesn't require it. It doesn't require you to abandon your career. That shift does not require you to give everything away. Not at all. But it requires you to ask a different question. Not just what am I achieving, but what am I contributing? And that question, when taken seriously, changes everything. Here is what I want you to take away. The emptiness you feel is not a flaw. I say it again. The emptiness you feel is not a flaw. It is just an invitation. An invitation back to the foundational work. The work of identity, the work of character, and the work of genuine values-aligned living that produces not just success, but significance. Not just achievement, but meaning. Not just a life that looks right, but a life that actually is. You see, identity comes before purpose. Foundation comes before harvest. And meaning, real lasting meaning, is built from inside out. So, if this is the kind of content your soul has been longing for, I want to encourage you to subscribe to this channel, turn on the notification bell, smash that like button, comment your thoughts, and share the video to your friends. Don't miss the next video in this series where we are going to go deep into resilience. You see, that the quality that keeps you building even when everything is working against you. So I want you to watch now other videos on the screen that is coming up. One of them is, signs that you are living someone else's life and what to do about it. The link is right there on the screen, and I will see you there.